Hey, this is your girl, Charles Ravenel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We've been talking about our sex series for the last few weeks, and we're still on that series. Last week, we talked about the biblical purpose for sex, and this week, I'm going to be sharing some benefits of sex, and that's sex and marriage, of course. So if you desire to hear some benefits of sex and marriage, if this is one of the areas in your marriage that you and your husband and you and your wife need to work on, I challenge you to watch this video and then take action. See you on the other side.
Living now. This is living now.
Hey, this is your girl, Troy Ravenel, Master Wife Coach and Transformation Scientist, helping you to transform from the inside out so that you can also be in a position to transform your marriage. We are on our sex series. We've been talking about sex and marriage for the last few weeks. We talked about biblical purpose for sex. We talked about the first week, we talked about how having sex before marriage can reduce the quality of marriage. The second week, we talked about how to restore and recover sexual fulfillment in your marriage. If you did have sex before marriage and had sexual experiences before marriage that took away from the quality and also the experience with your now husband or wife. And on last week, we talked about the biblical purpose. So week 3, we talked about the biblical purpose for sex, which is procreation, companionship, intimacy, and things of that nature. Now this week, I want to share with you guys some benefits to a healthy sex life. Last week, I did touch on a few of the benefits, but this week I want to share with you 7 benefits, and it will include some of those from last week of a healthy sex life, because, you know, we're in an age where the single people, I said this, I believe, on last video or the video before that, the single people have gotten the memo. You know, they have no problem going out there and having sex and having multiple problems, have multiple partners. But when it comes to the married people, a lot of times we have an issue with that. And I shared something with my husband the other day, and I said, I believe the reason for that is that, you know, when you are living outside of the will of God and you're having sex before marriage, like, you're breaking all the rules. So, you know, it's like you want something that you should not have access to, or you want to do something that you should should not have access to, and you're willing to take that risk. Whereas marriage, I believe we become so complacent and we become so comfortable in marriage. Oh, that's my husband, that's my wife, we're going to be together forever. We'll have multiple opportunities to have sex, and you just become lazy. You become lazy sexually. You become lazy when it comes to intimacy. You become lazy when it comes to pleasing your partner. You become lazy, and I can say that because I've been guilty. You become lazy, so it's no longer a factor. It's not like on your number one list. Whereas when you were single, you know, you couldn't wait to hook up with your boo, right? You couldn't wait to get that hotel room. You couldn't wait to take his or her clothes off. But when you get into the marriage covenant, it's a totally different ballgame. But that, you know what, that same drive and that same energy that you had when you were operating in the world, not in ungodly sense, and not, of course, in a impure sense, but that same drive and that same desire that you had to be sexually active when you weren't supposed to, we have to then turn that around and bring that into our marriage and understand the importance of having a healthy sex life. Listen, it's not that marriage cannot survive without sex, but it should not survive without sex, because having sex with your husband, your wife, you're building a bond, you're creating connectivity, you're creating oneness in that marriage, and the enemy will love anything more than to have you separated in that regard. So please, if this is you and you're watching this video today, if you know somebody that is struggling in this area, it's not that they don't love their partner or their spouse. It's not that, you know, they don't desire to have sex, but it's just not a number one priority. And you know that they've been going weeks or even months without being sexually engaged. Please do share this video with them and share this page with them so that they can go back and see some of the reasons why maybe the sexual drive isn't there. Maybe the libido has slowed down because of things that they've done in the past. Maybe guilt is still striking them. Maybe all of those experiences still haunt them or torment them. I don't know. But what I do know is that God created sex for marriage, and we should be having sex. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the benefits, you all. So the first benefit I want to share with you today is sex improves heart health. Yes, it is a form of exercise. Now, granted, you're not going to, you're probably not going to burn 300, 400, or 500 calories while having sex, but it definitely helps your heart to be healthier. As a matter of fact, there was a study that was published in January of 2015 in the American Journal of Cardiology, and it says that it found that men who had sex twice weekly or more had less risk of cardiovascular diseases like stroke or heart attack than those who had sex once a month or more. So listen, you can prevent having a heart attack, having a stroke, or any other type of heart disease just by having sex. Is that not a win-win, or is that not a win-win? Having sex can actually be considered a rather good form of exercise. There was a small study published in October 2013 in the journal is Plus One, PLOS. It showed that men burn an average of 4 calories a minute during sex than that average 25 minutes, and women burn 3 calories. That's a lot more fun listening than going on a treadmill. Because I don't know about you guys, I love to exercise, but at the end of the day, if I can get my calories, if I can burn calories just by having sex with my husband on a day-to-day basis, I would definitely want to do that than jump on a elliptical or a treadmill or a bike at the gym or any other type of cardiovascular exercise. So listen, it's not only pleasurable, as we talked about last week, it does not only provide a level of intimacy in the marriage, it does not only provide a level of companionship, but it's also good for our heart health. That is absolutely amazing. The number two benefit of having sex in marriage is it's a pain reliever. I shared this on last week. It's a pain reliever, but it says it's even a pain reliever from menstrual cramps. So women, if you're out there and you suffer with menstrual cramps, I don't know if you may have endometriosis. I don't know if it helps that. The study didn't show that. The research that I found didn't show that, or that I looked at didn't show that per se. But listen, it is a pain relief. So it can definitely help you release any type of pain when it comes to your menstrual cramps or any other pain. I also read in an article where it helps with headaches. So any level of pain that you may have, that having sex can help release that. A study that was published in Plus One, it was performed at Stanford University in California. Anesthesiologists, it showed participants photos of their romantic partners or photos of attractive strangers, or asked them to engage in a word game. What they found was that looking at just romantic photos of their partners significantly dulled the experience of pain. So just looking at attractive photos of your partner, that can help release and reduce pain in your life. There are other studies that have been found that women who get relief from menstrual cramps also through a good orgasm. So yeah, I get it. Maybe during that time of your cycle, or even before it comes on, because I know with me, a lot of times before my cycle comes on, I have symptoms of the cycle about to come on. I have menstrual cramps and other things that will happen. So even having sex prior to your period coming on, woman, that can help with a good orgasm, number one, and it can help relieve some pain from the menstrual cramps that you will experience during that cycle. Now that to me is awesome. The number three, I know we're all talking science and biological stuff on today, but it's super good, super juicy. So make sure you continue to watch it and don't turn this channel. Okay, the number three benefit of sex is less stress and lower blood pressure. Yeah, less stress and lower blood pressure. I know I used to always hear that men release stress by having sex. That may be true because of what it says here today, but men do have other reasons for wanting to have sex as well. So it's just not a stress reliever, but I don't know if they've known that for years, but it's definitely the truth. Sex can help relieve stress by raising your endorphins and other hormones that boost your mood. As a form of exercise, it can also help to calm you down. I know that to be the case for me. It can make you calm and, make you sedative, so per se. So if you're having a rough day, if you had a rough week, if you have a rough life, just incorporating that sex in your marriage covenant, that can help reduce the level of stress and can bring some calm in the marriage. There was a study that was published in the Journal of Biological Psychology. It found that sexual activity prevents, increases, and blood pressure during stressful events. While this effect was more pronounced in people who had sex with penetration, non-penetrative sex and masturbation, it says, can also help with help you stay serene per se, because, and I believe that's the case, because you're still releasing those same endorphins, because you're gearing up to an orgasm in that non-penetrative sexual state. Number 4, sex can have a possible reduction of prostate cancer risk. There was a study published in December 2016 in the journal European Urology. It found that men who ejaculate more than 21 times per month, compared with those who do 4 to 7 times per month, were 20% less likely to develop prostate cancer. Now, granted, be it self-ejaculation, or if you are performing that with your wife, if she's pleasing you in that way, or if you're having penetration sex, this is just ejaculation. So if you are releasing yourself, at least 21 times per month, that's a few times per week, compared with those who are doing it 4 or to 7 times per month, you have a 20% less likely you're 20% less likely to develop that prostate cancer. I believe that in itself is a benefit, to make sure that you're having sex regularly with your wife. So husbands, if you're on here, there are benefits to having sex. And I'm reaching out to the men, because there is a misconception in thinking that men always want to have sex, that they think about sex all the time. That's true, but it's not true, because they can be thinking about sex. They can be thinking about the game that's going to come on. They can be thinking about what's coming on, what they're going to eat for dinner. So their mind can be thinking about a multiple number of things, and not just on sex. And I know, firsthand that sex, that for a lot of men, sex is mental. So it's not just about the physical act of sex. It's also the mental act of sex and how it stimulates them. And also for some men, when they're stressed or they have a lot going on in their plate, they don't desire sex because they're stressed about so many other things. And even having sex is not necessarily their stress reliever. So don't believe the hype always, okay? Number 5, sex produces better sleep. Wow. Better sleep with a bonus, increase sexual desire. According to the national, I lost my thing here. According to, and I'm giving you guys a lot of facts and statistics, because I don't want to just come off the cuff and say what I think or feel, but I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you guys things that are factual and things that you can go and implement, okay? So according to the National Sleep Foundation, orgasms release the hormone prolactin, which can help you feel sleepy and relaxed. So have you ever fallen asleep after sex, right? That's that time you had some good sex and you fell asleep in your husband's arm or in your wife's arm, or you just was so relaxed and so serene that it just put you in this state where you just felt really, really good. I'm guilty of that, right? And the reason for that is because it does release the hormone that causes you to be sleepy, causes you to doze off. So if you're having issues with sleep, if you have insomnia like I do sometimes, and you just have problems falling asleep, try having sex with your husband, with your wife, of course, and see if that'll help you to get some shut-eye. Researchers discovered that when the women slept for longer periods of time, they reported greater sexual desire the next day. So not only does it help you to get sleep, it also increases your sexual drive and sexual desire, so that can keep that going into the marriage covenant, hence causing the marriage covenant to be stronger and causing you both to be one, get closer to one another, which also creates and enhances the oneness in marriage. Number 6, sex it allows you to have a happier mood and a stronger relationship. I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that at all. It's no wonder you've gotten a more positive outlook after sex. There are also biochemical rationales for experiencing improved mood as a sex benefit, from the neurotransmitters that may be released during health sex to the mood enhancers contained in semen itself. And as Dr. Karen, there's a lot to be said simply for the mood boosting effect of having a nice connection with somebody that you trust and that you care about. And that is definitely your husband or your wife. And I know for one, yes, sex does cause a happier mood, and it causes you to have a stronger relationship, because again, that's where that bonding is coming in at. That's where that building companionship, you're building trust, you're trusting your partner with your body, you're trusting them with your heart, because I know for one, for women, sex is more heart focused, more emotional focused, more physiological, psychologically focused than it is for men. So when you're having sex and it's causing you to be happier and trusting and more loving, that also enhances the marriage covenant overall. And then number 7, you all, number 7, sex helps our sex benefit is it helps you to have glowing, younger looking skin. So having sex, it helps you to have glowing, younger looking skin. Sex even helps you look younger, says Dr. Karen. That glow can be contributed to a combination of stress relief, better mood, and the flush of blood under your skin. That's a natural part of the arousal process. So when you don't have stress, right? When you're able to release that stress because you're having sex, you're able to have that happier and better mood because you are having sex on a regular basis. It also helps your skin because a stressful mind, causes stressful skin. You ever saw somebody that was real stressful and they had a lot going on all the time? If you look at their skin, they look absolutely horrible, right? They're sagging, bagging, faces sagging, bagging. They have puffs under their eyes. I mean, just all types of things that's going on. So we want to reduce the stress. We want to create a happier mood, a healthier mood. And the way that we can do that is by enjoying our husbands, enjoying our wives on a regular basis, And what's a regular basis? I think I said last week, at least once a week. And I think that's low. I think that's a really low number. But given life, given other responsibilities, given whatever, at least try to connect with your partner, your husband, your wife, at least once a week to have sex with them. Create that intimacy throughout the day. Create that intimacy throughout the week so you guys can build up to that time of having sex and make it special, make it unique, and make it last. So that is our time today, you all. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's more science than anything on today, but I believe it's helpful because I believe when you understand something, you can treat it better, you can execute it better, and you'll just have that level of understanding to whereas you can enjoy it better when you understand its purpose, its function, and what it can do for your life. So next week, I'm going to be sharing with you 8 natural ways to boost your sex life. I'll also be sharing some other videos in our Marriage Couples Who Win page. So make sure you're a part of that community. It's Married Couples Who Win Training Center on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram under Trail Ravenel. I'm also on Facebook under Trail Ravenel. Get connected, stay connected. And if there's any other video you want me to share, you want me to talk about, any other series you want me to talk about, make sure you let me know that. You can comment below. You can send me an email at info@wiveswhowin.com. You can inbox me or whatever is your desire or form of communication. Let me know so I can share with you. I can do my due diligence, my research, and then share it with you so that your marriage can be healthier and happier. I'm also going to be doing an impromptu video talking about relationships with pastors, in particular women, and how sometimes as women we can desire or respect and honor our pastors, our male pastors, more than we do our husbands, and more so if the husband is not saved or if he's not spiritual enough in our eyes. So I definitely want to do that impromptu video. That may be this upcoming week, I'm not sure, but you have to follow me to know what's going on with my life, know what's going on with the ministry, and make sure you subscribe here so when new videos come out, you will be the first one to know. Okay, you all, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Your